Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey, do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey, do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the pod, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the thing. So do it for Deuce and Mo.
We are live! Win or lose, Deuce and Mo will be live after every single Kings game. We don't play.
We don't play.
Actually, we do play.
Play what?
We play, like we show up. We are ready to go.
We play the game.
Hey, I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. How are we doing tonight?
What up, Deuce?
Hey.
Hey,
That was a burp, huh?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Don't call me out on that,
Okay.
man.
I'm rooting
Trying to
for
fix the
y'all.
camera a
Yep.
little bit. Look at my hair.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Oh, my God.
Wait.
Damn, if we don't want to enjoy what happened tonight, I don't blame you, but enjoy that for a second.
Do you just love?
It's one of those things you look. I just looked at myself. I didn't take I usually take like about 15 minutes every day just to stare directly in the mirror.
No, if you
I
did,
didn't
you
get a
would be
chance.
a much better person. Like you would have like so much self-love. You wouldn't have to tell everyone about every single stage of your hair. From buzz to this, you
That looks
love
great.
the shit out of your
I mean,
hair.
it just show. You know what I'm showing tonight?
Versatility.
Thank you. Versatility. How are we doing in the chat, man? I feel like people are feeling a little low today. I get it. Tough loss tonight for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
Just disappointing how they came out, man. This was a big game. I felt like walking around today, Golden One Center. Oh, you feel a little buzz in the building.
Yeah.
It felt like a big
Oh,
game. People
it
are
did.
pretty amped up. Fox got named to the All-Star team today. That happened today, right?
Today.
When was the trade deadline? Yesterday?
Was that yesterday?
It was. We're losing our minds. But the reality of this whole situation is it felt like it was a big game, and the Kings just absolutely fell flat in that first quarter. Just so disappointing.
Yeah.
So disappointing.
It's so disappointing that I want to start the pod.
Man, I don't like this doom and gloom. Also,
I'm not doom and gloom though.
Also, I had a guy in our YouTube comments the other day. I forget his name.
Yeah.
It was like, "Hey, I love your podcast.
But?
Love the podcast." Which that's when you know when they do the podcast.
Yeah. What's the
but?
But what's the but?
You know, I'm not a big fan of the roll call you do. I just want to say one thing to YouTube people out there who may not know, and I know some of you are still learning YouTube. We do, after every episode, timestamp the episodes, meaning if you like fast forward, you could see what topics are where. And that technically doesn't happen on the podcast. It's like showing the pre-show. If we do the stream start, pre-show, podcast, maybe I shouldn't do the roll call after every game. I don't know. I just like to acknowledge the people who want to spend some time.
Couple things.
Yeah.
It was one person, and I appreciate the feedback too. You know, if anything, it's like, hey, that's like what they don't like. Two, yeah, we spend an hour to almost 2 hours sometimes after the podcast, editing clips, time stamping, obviously posting it to all the different platforms. And it gives you the opportunity to, if you do go back and listen, that you get to scroll by it, and gets you straight to the beginning of the pod. So, no, I saw so many people tonight, and thanks for all the love tonight. So many Deuce bags and Mo runs tonight, and I was just like, this community is so important, and that's
They
why.
said hi to you.
Yeah, a shit ton.
You know, it's so weird.
They always ask about you.
Yeah, they ask,
And then I point.
They ask, hey, why don't you come say hi to me? Oh, the TV star is doing something. The
not
camera's on her.
what it is at
So
all.
I don't get. Hey, just good job.
They're
It's
always looking
She
for
gets
you.
all the love,
Dude.
She gets all the love.
Whenever I've been out in public with you, it's like Deuce, and it's so annoying. And it's like, why are you intimidated by me? I didn't. What? And then sometimes they just don't know who I am, but they know who Deuce is. That's when you really know it's bad. But yeah, that roll call is just about, obviously the little shout outs, passing back the love.
Well, let's give some love to the people watching us live then.
Yeah.
Because if you're here after your team got knocked around in the first quarter, if you're here after watching and hoping that the Kings were to come back and make this a game, which they did at one point,
Yeah.
let's give you some love. Let's give Manny, Too Legit, and Kevin. Hey, what's up, Bad News, Sour Grapes? And Lee Adams here with Torch K. Appreciate you all being here. FG, not KJJK. Jets, J-Rock and Force goes Fabio and Sing Cookies. What's up, Alberto? What's up, Port? What is up, Clizzo?
Yeah.
CLZO. Clizzo. Mini Lambs in the building, of course. And Matthew. Hi, Matthew. What's up, Scotty C? Lorraine Fox in the building. De'Aaron's mom says, what in the world was that first quarter rotation? We lost the game in the first quarter. She's right. What's up, Matthew? Thank you, Cisco. Sean S. is here. Appreciate Scott. Brad. Luke. They're all coming in. Oh, Matt, Greg, Chewy, Mary, Lucky Gizmo, and Corey. Hey, off topic, and CJ. Drunk on LaCroix. I am drinking, by the way, I saw someone ask, I think Chewy did. I'm going with that non-alcoholic athletic brewing company Upside Dawn Golden.
Smart.
Ale.
You got a big TV gig tomorrow. You don't want to bloat,
Yes. I'm on TV tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the good news, guys. I am
That's
going to be
the good
on
news.
TV with Morgan for pre and post. My first time doing pre and post game at Golden
Yeah.
One Center with Luka making his return
Whoa.
tomorrow night. And I can tell you right now, I'm ready to just light that beam.
Oh,
Ready to light that beam.
Okay,
What's up,
now.
Alberto? Appreciate you guys. Hey, DZ. Thank you so much. All right. Deuce and Mo coming down. And hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
In 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast, recording this late, too late, on a Friday night after what was a pretty exciting day for the Sacramento Kings. De'Aaron Fox named to the All-Star team by Adam Silver. He's an injury replacement, playing in his first All-Star game coming up in Salt Lake City. He joins his teammate Domantas Sabonis. 2 All-Stars for the first time since Brad Miller and Peja Stojakovic. Also, rumors galore about Kevin Huerter being in the three-point shootout. That's the good news. The better news was, hey, you got a big game at home tonight. You're taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Luka did not play, but the Mavs come out and have a monster first quarter, dropping a 45 pace on the Sacramento Kings. Kings were down by as many as 24 points. Did make it a game in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough, and they could have lost a key member. Malik Monk leaves the game with injury. Kings lose 122 to 114. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. How are we doing tonight?
Hey, one compliment really quick.
Yeah?
Even when your brain is fried as shit, I don't know how you do it with a recap like that. I was like each time
you
I
don't
was
see
like,
that teleprompter in front of you?
there's no teleprompter. And each time I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, and Malik Monk. Oh, wait, yeah, and the Kevin Huerter news, though, we got from De'Aaron today. Oh, yeah. Just good job.
Just try to do a brief recap at the start before we dive into what went wrong tonight for the Sacramento Kings, Morgan. I walked in the Gold One Center today. I felt the buzz. I was like, dude, this feels like a big game. Like, you're ahead of this team by 2 games in the Western Conference. Luka is not playing. He was warming up tonight, getting shots up. it sounds like he is going to give it a go. He's expected to play when the Kings play the Mavericks on the second night of a back-to-back on Saturday night. I think the thought was, let's give him one more additional day of rest, see how he feels tomorrow. So you never know, but I would anticipate if all is well, he's going to give it a go and play his first game with Kyrie Irving. So that's a new challenge for the Kings. But as far as tonight, Morgan, the first quarter, I mean,
that was ugly.
what's so disappointing is we saw what went down in Houston. And it was, hey, you won games, but you gave up a lot of points. And then the Kings don't make any crazy moves at the trade deadline. In fact, the one move they made was before when they trade for Kessler Edwards. And Monty has his press conference today, and Mike Brown, all these guys are just saying, hey, look, I think the defense is trending in a better direction. We're having more consistent moments. Monty cited at his press conference today that they're 19th or 20th in defensive rating since December 1st. It's not good enough, has to be better. I just expected tonight for this Kings team to come out engaged and ready to go from the tip. It's not because it was a long road trip. It's not because of any of that. They just didn't come out with the right type of focus and being locked in from the start. And what you saw in the first quarter defensively compared to the fourth quarter,
night and day.
like what?
Night
You
and
lost
day.
the game in the first quarter. It was 45-25 after the first quarter. What did you see go wrong in that opening quarter?
Yeah, I think the obvious point was like not being engaged, not being locked in. But then when the Mavs started knocking down their deep shot, the three, they were lights out from three early, right?
They shoot a lot of them, right?
And they shoot a lot of them. I think third most in 3-point attempts in this league. It doesn't mean that they make all of them, but they put up a lot of threes. And they put up a lot of threes tonight, but especially in that first quarter, a lot of those threes were going down. You looked at this squad in the pick and roll too, the Sacramento Kings defending the pick and roll, and it just seemed like the pick and pop, the pick and roll, every single thing the Mavs were doing on the offensive end, they were executing. I didn't understand where the miscommunication was. I didn't understand what was going wrong. Mike Brown even put Keon Ellis in really early to start this game.
I mean, there was the pick and roll coverage was not very good, and they were switching a lot, and the Mavs were hunting out the switches.
Yes.
You had backdoor layups, offensive rebounds. You know, Dwight Powell picks up 2 quick fouls in the game in like the first minute and 11 seconds of the game. They put JaVale McGee in. He has an instant impact, and that's a guy who has not really been a part of what they've been doing in Dallas this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk that maybe he could be on the move at the trade deadline. He impacted the game tonight. You know, he came in, not only a lob to it, but just being long, just getting his hand on the ball, right? Like, he's so long, he was able to just put his hand up over Sabonis, tip a ball out.
Yep.
Second chance opportunities hurt this team tonight, too. And it's so tough with the pick and roll coverage because, like, I understand they're going to have Sabonis come out high sometimes, but, man, the back line has to be in sync. And it just felt like there were so many breakdowns. You know, Terrence Davis comes into a game, and this is why Terrence Davis is in and out of the rotation. This is why his minutes are so sporadic because, on one hand, he'll give you great effort defensively. He'll try to get in guys. He's really good offensively, attacking the basket. He can get hot from three, but there are too many times there's defensive breakdowns, and Brown got super frustrated. He put him in for Harrison Barnes, and then literally like 2 minutes later, he's like, Keon Ellis, get in there. Then the game just completely fell apart.
Yeah.
It goes from, 26-17 to 35-19, and then at the end of the first, it's 45-25. They were getting past their man, getting in the paint, kicking out for threes, second chance threes, pick and roll. It was really just a terrible performance by the Kings. And you couple that with the fact that they could not hit a shot. Like when Dallas goes 7 of 13 from 3 in the opening quarter and the Kings were 1 of 7, losing the 3-point battle like that, that's trouble.
It really is. And it really sucks because I know we'll talk about it, but the way that they fought back and got into it, especially in that fourth quarter, it was like, why couldn't this just be somewhere consistently? And before we get to that, I just want to say Will Z had a nice little stat about an hour ago. He said the first quarter really does tell the tale. Teams that won the first quarter this year in the league are 562 and 252, which is a 69% winning percentage. For reference, the Celtics lead the league with a 71% winning percentage, and the Bucks are second.
That's an interesting stat.
I know.
Well, what did Mike Brown think of the loss tonight?
Game plan, they kicked my behind. They kicked all the rest of the coaches behind and all the players behind. It was game plan, back cuts, couldn't keep the ball in front, didn't box out, gave up offensive rebounds, got beat in transition. You name it, it happened to us.
Yeah,
it all did.
That's very true. He was also asked about where the Kings defense is at this point of the season.
Definitely not where we need to be or where I want them to be. We're not good defensively, and we're not good because we don't know how to be consistent. You know, we don't know how to give the same focus and effort or be consistent over a certain amount of time. We have flashes of it, and that's what gives me as a coach hope, because there's flashes of it. But until we figure out how we're going to be consistent with what our assignments are and our ability to guard and be early and be physical without fouling and continue to give multiple effort and communicate and all those little things, until we're consistent with those things, we're gonna struggle defensively.
Dallas scored 74 points in the first half. Second half, they scored 48 points. And I saw one person, I think it was Tim Maxwell on Twitter. I love him. He's always known to be uplifting on Twitter after losses. But
I know that's
he was just like, there's just nothing, I don't care. They got within it, typical Maxwell.
Yeah.
That's him. But I'm like, no, I understand what people are saying. Like, hey, sometimes teams let off the gas a little bit when they get up big. The Kings played better in the second half of this game.
100%.
They played more engaged. This wasn't like, oh, the Mavs are going through the motions deep into the bench. No, the Kings' defense was much better. That fourth quarter defense was outstanding by Sacramento. Multiple efforts. They were getting after it. I felt like if anything at the end, they just completely ran out of gas. But it's what Mike Brown's saying, Morgan. It's like they can't string things together. Like, you cannot have a quarter where you give up 45 and it's easy. It doesn't matter if it's against some starters, your bench guys, and then in the fourth quarter, you're engaged, flying everywhere, multiple efforts, communication on lock. Like, there has to be some balance. In between, some balance or something.
Yeah.
And it was really disappointing to see that, especially in a big game. These are the games, man. These are the games. They got to be better at home. And, you don't want to be in a situation where you lose both of these games.
And we talked about it the other night. They got to play Dallas 2 more times, right? Tomorrow is one of those games that they're going to take them on, again, on their home floor. And De'Aaron was talking a little bit after the game and saying, look at our offense. There was no problem really with our offense. It really was just what we didn't do defensively. And that's what's mostly frustrating about it, because you saw the way they tried to claw and get back into this one in that fourth quarter. It was like, it was there. It didn't feel fluky like Dallas was just giving it away. It was the Kings really battling it out, but they just didn't do it for 4 quarters. And it's not even about sometimes having that consistency throughout 4 quarters. That's really difficult. But having that shitty of a first quarter, it's just where this team lost it tonight. And I just think that's the most frustrating part, especially coming into this game with so much energy like these Kings fans did.
One adjustment that they made in the second quarter, I noted, was on the pick and roll, because, when McGee was in there, it was like instantaneously they were just going Kyrie, McGee, pick and roll every time.
Yeah.
Because the Kings can't guard this at all. They switch. It becomes an issue. So what they did was they had a guard on Kyrie, whether it was Fox or Davis, and they actually had Fox on McGee, where they had Sabonis stationed around the free throw line. So when the switch came, it was Fox on the Kyrie, which was just like an interesting, okay, cool. I like seeing that type of adjustment in game. Like, you're getting crushed on it. Like, stop getting crushed on the same thing. Like, it has to get better. And the Kings are going to have to do some weird gimmicky stuff every once in a while because of their limitations from a defensive personnel thing. I mean, I've been thinking about tonight, and I swear we talk about this seems like every time the Kings play another team, it's like everyone's just longer. Like, Terrence Davis, how tall is Terrence Davis? 6'4"?
I was like, I don't know.
Is he 6'4"?
Sure.
I need to look it up. I want to double check here because Terrence Davis is 6'4". He's coming in playing like minutes at the small forward. Yeah, he's 6'4". Like, there's just limitations. You know, some of these fours, you know, especially when Sabonis has to come out in the pick and roll, and it's like, okay, who's the big that's coming over? Who's the four that's coming over? It's like HB's going to come over and defend the rim right now. That's just not his thing.
Yeah, okay. Just to go back to this, because this has to do with everything that was going down this week, the NBA trade deadline, and so many people were on both ends of the spectrum. Either you're pissed off that the Kings didn't make a trade, or you're like, no, that's good. I want to keep this team going. I was in the middle of, hey, those tweaks matter. Those tweaks matter. Even if you're tweaking something that it's tough. You don't want to lose anyone that you've built this chemistry with. But there's guys that are either unplayable or not playing down the bench. And that's where it is important to make those tweaks. Now, making those tweaks, not with guys like, and I sorry to throw out this name and I'm not trying to bash him, but not with guys like a Pat Beverly, right? Like not a guy that could really screw with the spirit of the team. You're talking about a tweak with a guy that has something that you are lacking. And right now the Kings defense and where they're lacking in so many different areas defensively, it has to be dealt with. And that's why at the trade deadline, it would have been nice to see like a Jared Vanderbilt or so many others for so many second round picks, but you didn't see it.
Yeah. I think that's when I look at the trade deadline, that's what I look at the fact that not only did they not land those guys, but those guys ended up on teams that they're competing against in the Western Conference. And so it's almost like double. It'd be one thing if it's like, hey, man, like, yeah, they didn't get Plumlee or they didn't get Thibault or they didn't get Vanderbilt or Josh Hart, but hey, they kind of stayed with their teams. Well, like those three of the four guys I just mentioned ended up in the Western Conference, right? So that's where you get hurt by it. And, you know, you have what you have now. And I'd say the good news for Sacramento tonight is you did see a much better defensive effort in the second half. And I know, like, hey, there's no moral victories, but like if you look at the breakdown in scoring tonight, first quarter 45-25 Dallas, second quarter 31-29 Sacramento, third quarter 31-27 Sacramento, fourth quarter 27-21 Sacramento. I mean, I don't remember the last time the Kings actually held an opponent under 30 points in 3 of 4 quarters. The problem is you give up 45 in the first.
And it was
the game.
And it was
That's the game.
Bad, deflating 45. And
it sucked the life out of the building.
I'll tell you this though too. You saw the way that they were making shots. Like they were knocking down everything, but like also the shots just weren't defended well enough either. They were knocking down everything. You can play the game like that's not going to happen all the time, but this is also a team that chucks them up. This is a team that's 8th in offensive rating and I believe 22nd in defensive rating. So you see where they are defensively, and I felt like the Kings capitalized on that part of their game, but they really just screwed up on the other end.
Also, I mentioned the bigs earlier, McGee and Powell, just their length. I mean, they combined for 34 minutes, 20 points and 13 rebounds. That's a win for Dallas.
Yeah,
that's a huge win
is.
for those guys to have that impact combined, 20 and 13. That's big time impact. I mean, it felt like there were just moments where they got production from guys like Christian Wood, who,
dude,
what a weird situation he's in. I think Jason Kidd's like, dude, he comes in and scores like a quick 12 points, right? Like instantaneously. He comes in, hits a couple of threes. What did he finish with tonight? 13. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. He's 5-12, but you know, he got going hot and then he started just jacking him up. He played
12 minutes.
12 minutes tonight.
Yep.
And I think Kidd was just like, no, you're taking bad shots. Like
you were feeling good, and now your shot selection isn't what it needs to be. You're screwing this up for everyone out here. And that's what that's the kind of things he does, though.
I mean, even someone like Josh Green, like 17 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. That guy is just constantly moving, cutting like crazy. He's a nice player. I know the Mavs are really high on him. I thought he was really good. The other guy that jumped out to me was Jaden Hardy, the rookie, who, look, man, we talked about him on draft night, and the Kings drafted him.
Yes, they did.
In the second round and traded him to Dallas. He had a big impact. 12 points. He wasn't perfect. He's a young player. 4 of 5 from 3, and he hit some timely ones. I thought he was big for Dallas, too.
And those are the type of players that you look at and you're just like, why can't you develop here? Why couldn't you take that opportunity, that chance, and just try and make them into the player that you want them to be here? Hopefully going forward, there's more of that. And obviously there's always going to be players around the league that you're going to see for so many different teams. Like they let him go, or they traded him before even giving him a chance. Like that stuff is going to happen, especially when it comes to youth and younger guys. But yeah, it's tough to see when they end up playing against you and they actually make a little bit of an impact. And you, with Tim Hardaway Jr. too, 3 of 10 from beyond the arc. This is a guy that
he's a chucker.
He just likes to shoot a lot of threes, but still finished with 15 points. It's just tough to see that type of production.
The threes were killer. It seemed like it's just, I mean, they hit 18 threes tonight. That just hurts. I just want to pull up some numbers too, because it seems like Kevin Huerter's been in a funk for a minute. So Kevin Huerter tonight, I appreciate that he tried to attack a little more. He did finish 6 of 10 with 15 points. He was 0 for 3 from downtown. In his last 10 games, Kevin Huerter is 15 of 57 from 3, 26%.
Yeah, it's not good. I saw a stat earlier, and it was probably Woolsey, and it was about what he's been shooting on the road compared to at home.
His home numbers are way better.
Just way better. And then you see what he was doing tonight shooting wise. It wasn't great. You see what he's doing as of late. It's not great, especially with the way that he started this season. We knew it was going to stop being that efficient. I just didn't know it was going to take this much of a drop.
I mean, he just looks like a guy that needs to rest at the All-Star break, but he might be in the 3-point contest.
Well,
so maybe that gets him going. I mean, I feel like he'll get back up, but this is like an extended stretch here. The other guy in his last 10 games has struggled from 3, Davion Mitchell, and I know he doesn't take a lot of them. During that stretch, he's 5 of 20, but he's 5 of 20. How many of those are wide open? I mean, He gets a lot of great looks, and he has just not been able to knock them down. And we could talk about his impact defensively all the time, but this is what's keeping him, I think, from playing more minutes. It's just like,
can't rely on
you gotta
him.
make some shots.
Yeah.
You have to make some shots out there. So it just feels like they're searching a bit too with the bench. Like Monk goes down tonight. We don't know how serious it is. Mike Brown said after the game he's going to get some testing. Terrence Davis gave him 9 points, 4 rebounds in 20 minutes. Davion did not score in his 13 minutes. Monk had 8 points, but he also had, he had 8 points, 3 of 7 shooting, did not make a 3. His defense wasn't great tonight either.
So Kings weren't making all their threes, but where you did see production was in the paint, right? They finished with 54 points in the paint, and the Mavs only finished with 44 points in the paint. And I look at that. That is what kept them in this game, was getting those paint touches, attacking the paint, scoring in the paint. They ended up with 5 offensive rebounds that led to 11 points, So again, they were doing well in some offensive categories. It just was, they were dog shit defensively, which helped lead to this bad loss on their home floor.
Well, Mike Brown, what do you think about the rebounding issues tonight?
No, I mean, we got to box out. We have a tendency just to turn and take a step towards the rim. And in this league, especially when you got big bodies, athletic bodies, quick bodies, you got to go find somebody. You got to go meet somebody and make contact. And, we're not big enough to just turn and take a step towards the rim and think we're going to rebound. So that hurt us. And then there were a lot of 50-50 balls where we had 2 or 3 guys sprinting out in transition before we came up with the basketball. So that hurt us as well. We got to do better for sure in that area come tomorrow.
It's always what we say. It's just the most fundamental thing for a box out, like finding man,
Dude,
then finding
Fox
ball.
had one tonight on, God, who was it? Might have been on Powell.
The box out?
God damn. Like he just straight bodied him with his ass. And I was like, I love seeing that from
Yes.
De'Aaron Fox played great tonight.
Yeah.
I thought he looked like an all-star. He started getting some all-star calls. How about De'Aaron Fox? Back-to-back games, double-digit free throw attempts.
Dude,
he
didn't he make all that?
No, he did. He missed 2 in that fourth quarter.
Yeah. Okay.
But I thought Fox played his ass off tonight. I thought he was fantastic.
He did. It was tough because, after the game, I was asking Matt, I'm like, where could he have done better? And it wasn't really what De'Aaron could have done better. Like, he played like an all-star tonight. He was doing a great job carrying his team in that fourth quarter, knocking down his free throws, obviously, throughout the game, finishing with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. So also finding the open man. Yeah, he's also getting up in guys defensively and having box outs the way that he is having these he's locked in.
Oh, he was in the Kyrie too. How about that block he had on him late?
Yeah, no, there's so many good things about De'Aaron and his game on a consistent level. So it's super shitty when you have a game like this that other people didn't step up their game to kind of meet him there. And really, they would have stepped up their game just right there in that first quarter. That's where everything really would have gone down and made this in a close game the entire game.
Let's pause for a second.
Yeah.
Let's give the people some love. How about this crowd on a Friday night after a loss?
You guys
Let's
are
give
awesome.
it up to the crowd. In the chat, help us out. Let's hit the thumbs up button. It helps our channel grow. Let's make sure we're subscribed. I believe we are, less than, is that right?
What?
I can't do math
We're
right
like
now. We're closing in
100
on
and something away.
We're closing in on 10,000 subs. It's like 180 away
Don't
or
do
something
math.
like that. Just help us out. Make sure you subscribe. And hit that thumbs up. Let's get that going so more and more people can see our content.
Someone did say to me tonight, they were like, hit that thumbs up. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's
It's
cool.
like, what is that?
I didn't. You're doing something. I'm just saying it was cool.
I thought you
there
were
was
sad.
nothing
I
there.
thought you were sad that they said it to me and
No,
it's your line.
No, I was just saying that's cool. And
I
you
just-
about jumped me for no reason.
Well, I didn't know you're in a
Just-
fragile state, so
What fragile state am I in right now?
Well, you're not like in a strong state. You're kind of like the Kings in the first
What
quarter.
are you talking about?
You couldn't do math, and then I was afraid to like take that away from you, the smashing the thumbs up button, that someone said it to me. And so I'm just making sure you're good. You're good, right?
Morgan with a couple of turnovers.
I
here.
know. I'm just
I
making
have-
I'm making sure my teammate's good.
I'm great.
Okay.
I just paused for a second and say, hey, let's give some love to the people.
No.
I feel great.
Good. No, I believe you.
Okay.
I know. This is Deuce. It's just a mental check-in.
SpaceX Dragon Chicken says Deuce is always sensitive after the Kings lose. We all are. What?
Deuce, it's okay. No one's dissing you right now. We're all in this together. We're all here
Morgan
for you.
was pushing. Look, you guys, we're not going here. Someone asking if I'm growing my hair out. Yeah.
Oh no, there we go. That's what he just needed. That. There it is. His hair growing back out.
Can I be honest?
Yeah, be honest.
I
Wait,
don't
you just
know.
said, "Can I be honest?"
Yeah.
Is that what segment we're at?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, like if I'm gonna keep it going. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
You kind of like this length, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Wild.
Omar says tonight's game sucked the energy out of Deuce. I'm just really stunned right now because I came in here with I came out with a great intro. I'm been dropping nuggets from the game. I feel like I'm pretty locked in based on everything. And now I'm being, hey, are you okay?
No,
like, I
we're
feel
all
like
just-
I am living in a different world where I feel great and everyone thinks I'm lethargic.
No.
Not well. Someone said to me,
Hey.
you look tired today. I'm like, no, thanks, man. I'm doing well. How are you? So now I feel like I am out of tune with who I am as a person. Am I
No.
delusional right now?
No, you are great. You have to understand, just because people are checking up on you doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. Does that make sense? Like people saying, hey, even you look tired. Sometimes it's their way of being like, hey, just wanted to check up on you. Like mental health check. You good?
Thank you,
You okay?
Drunk on LaCroix. I that's what I needed right now.
What?
Stop. Oh, wait, that was to me. Damn it. Stop gaslighting us, Deuce. It's okay. We know you're in pain. Damn it.
Yeah, he's good, everybody.
If
He's
you're
good.
wondering, like, I'm not going, oh, we're live, and being all, the Kings lost. Am I going to show up to a funeral? You show up different to a birthday party than you do a funeral, right?
I'd hope.
Yeah. What are you looking at?
I heard a big noise.
It's a dog.
Hey, we're all just checking it. We're all a little concerned about you, bud. we're just concerned about you.
Do I need to wrap up?
No. You are.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're not doing anything. I can't believe we're still talking about this. We were just doing a mental health check. All of us douchebags and morons together. We all think you're great.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay.
I'm great. What else do you want to talk about from this game?
Keegan Murray. That was someone else that, for me, seeing him hit some of those outside shots, love to see it. You know, a guy that we were talking about, could he be in that 3-point competition at All-Star break, finishing with 16 points, 4 or 5. Love to see it.
He needs more shots.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy there's one point, I think the Kings had 5 made 3-pointers, and he had 4 of them. He finished with 4 or 5 from 3. He had 16 points. He had 3 rebounds. He did play 35 minutes. But I'm like, look, guys aren't knocking down shots right now.
Yeah.
Let's get this guy some more looks.
I'm with
like,
you.
A little more dribble handoff action with him.
He's smooth, man.
So smooth. Let's get him more looks. He is one of the, it's not, hey, he's a good shooter for a rookie. He's a good shooter in the NBA. He's putting up outstanding numbers. He's on pace to crush the NBA's rookie record for most made threes in a season. This guy needs, we gotta tick this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially now. It's like, you know, there's certain guys, you know, they've leaned so heavily on Fox and Sabonis, and I thought both of those guys were really good tonight. You know, Barnes he's going to go through parts of the season where he looks a little tired. He's going through it right now. He only had 8 points. He's 1 of 5 from 3. He had some great looks from the corner tonight. He missed them. Just an off night. Tired legs. I don't know. This guy's a rookie. You need to utilize him more and get him better looks.
I think, too, when you look at Keegan Murray and the way that he's playing right now in his rookie season, on a night like this, it's hard, but sure, you can feel really positive about your future and what you have in this rookie. You have 2 all-stars as of today. You have a rookie in Keegan Murray that is showing signs that he can be an elite shooter in this league and just like a solid NBA player.
Yeah, and Lee in the chat was just bringing up Keegan's defense. Yes, it was good tonight. And I think he's got the potential to be a pretty good defender. A lot of times we're talking about rookie mistakes, and he's made them. Like, we've seen Mike Brown coach him during timeouts. We've seen Sabonis pull him aside, but he's very coachable. And I thought tonight he had a nice block on Kyrie. I think he ended up with 2 blocks in the game tonight.
Nice. Yeah, I love to see it for him. I think, we keep talking about him getting more shots and what needs to happen when he's especially feeling it. I think this team has a pretty good feel of trying to get the guy that is feeling themselves on the court, getting them the rock, making sure that they're getting a good look because they're feeling good. A really selfless Kings basketball team when it comes to that point of a game with whoever it is that's on fire. You've seen it with Malik Monk at times. They're just like, okay, he's going to put his head down and go, but he's going to make something happen. And I think with Keegan, he's just got to keep being aggressive in those moments when he's knocking down his shots.
Yeah, 16 points for him, 6 of 10 shooting, 4 of 5 overall. He had one nice move to the basket where he tried to scoop it up to make the shot, missed the shot. Sabonis was there to clean it up. I mean, that's the other thing I don't think we've hit on enough. I think we've been complaining a lot about what went down.
Sure.
The Kings did make it a game in the fourth quarter. Man, I thought Fox, when the game kind of got out of hand again, Fox, like in that final minute, Fox had a take that was unbelievable.
The under the basket, windmill.
But he got, it was in transition. The one in transition where it looked like he got fouled 7 times by Kyrie and still took it strong to the basket. Right before that, he hit a 3. That was really cool to see. And, they made it a game. They cut it to 104-96 halfway through. It felt like, okay, maybe they have a chance to win this game. You just wish, God, if they would just clean it up. If that fourth quarter could have been like a 34-point quarter you give up instead of a 45. And we're talking about a different game. So
didn't they make it like a 5-point game at one time right there toward the end? And just everything was so close. Okay. Secret time.
Yeah.
When it was really close. So texting with our producer. We always text during the game, you know, like, what do we want to go over? Kings were down by a lot, whatever. And then they started coming back. And I said, don't text anything about them winning. If you want to talk about them winning, just put it in the rundown and we'll get it from there. I don't want to jinx anything. I hate myself. It's not something I'm proud of. I don't want to be that person, but I am.
So if you go into a game and like, I think the Kings are going to win tonight, do you believe before the game that's jinxing?
No, it's
but
like
during the game
it's
jinxing.
like an anxious, anxiety-filled moment where I'm like, oh my God, they can actually pull this out. But then I was like, no, don't say anything about it. Like if we need to do it post game and the Kings get the win, Matt and I can flow. You know what I mean? It's not like I need a game plan after a win. After a loss, there's just different things you're obviously going to put into a show because you're not going to just break down an awful loss the whole time.
We should also mention real fast that we had Domantas Sabonis on our daily show today. He'll probably never be on with us again.
Why?
Because if you believe in jinxes, he came on with us
So
today, this morning,
no.
on a game day, which still floors me that Sabonis came on with us on a game day, and he was on with us for, I don't know, like 12 minutes or something like that, and then they lost tonight. So do you believe in jinxes?
No. So no. Again, it's not all things just can be made a jinx.
That's right. You get to pick.
I mean,
pick and choose.
No,
sure.
you can pick and choose, and I can pick and choose. And if you felt like that, if you believed in jinxes and felt like that was something, then yeah, he probably shouldn't join us on a game day.
I don't believe in that stuff. Brooke says you threw him off his routine.
There you go.
Alberto, how do we catch your daily show? It's on Sacktown Sports. Go to youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140. A couple more in the chat. Kevin wants to know, hey, has Mo talked about why they turned the tables and quit showing Kings fans on NBC Sports California? Yeah, so here's the deal.
What's the deal?
I mean, I've noticed it. I'm sure people at home have noticed it. Maybe they don't get to see everything, but it was getting very chaotic with the fans behind you guys at Golden One Center. And it was getting to the point that it was, as the season went on, it was getting worse and worse. Look, people at the games are having a good time. Maybe they're drinking a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just rowdy people in general.
Not all Kings fans, by the way.
Right.
You know, like,
just
know that.
It just be people, fans from other teams. It doesn't matter. And, you know, it becomes
Dangerous.
really challenging, maybe sometimes dangerous to do your job when what's going on behind you. There's a fight behind you. There's people grabbing you or saying things. So they made the shift to have the arena behind and the fans in front. I think that's a good move.
No, and seeing it tonight, you know, I had some tweets tonight. People were loving it and like, oh man, you know, there's so many fan distractions while you guys are talking, so we still have a fan cam.
Yeah,
and we
you
make
still show them off, for sure,
yeah,
dude.
because like that is the whole point of all of it.
It does provide so much energy, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the reason. And Nick's, oh my God.
Oh,
I just saw Nick on Discord and he is completely
Like,
shirtless
super
and he was like
naked.
showing off his belly for a second. Oh my goodness. All right, Nick, hang on, buddy. We'll get to you. What's up, Nick?
What's up, Deuce?
What's going on, man?
How are you?
why is your TV so loud,
turn
Nick?
down your TV. What are you doing? No, oh no,
God.
no, no, no,
I'm
no,
a
no,
little
no,
nervous.
no.
Is that better?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
How are you?
We're great. I don't know. How do you sleep with a shirt off when it's like 20 degrees outside?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
How are you?
What's on your mind?
I do want to say that we lost tonight.
Yes.
And
Why are you
know,
smiling?
we gotta play better. And I want to see the beam tomorrow. I really want to see the beam bad tomorrow because we didn't show up tonight, but we're gonna get payback on Dallas.
Oh, payback, huh?
I do want to say that I am so excited that Darren Fox gets to go to the NBA All-Star and Sabonis.
Yeah, both those guys are going to be in the All-Star game. That's really cool, huh?
And I feel like that I need to go in the locker room and tell my team, hey, we gotta play defense.
Are you ever, Nick?
I feel like here's the thing, Nick. You tell your team after every game to play defense. They're not listening to you. You have to have a different message for your team. I feel like they might be like tuning you out. Like they're like, God, Coach Nick always says the same thing about defense. I think you have to have a different message for them. Try something different. Do you have any ideas?
Go out there, stay on your man.
That's playing defense.
It is playing
and you
defense.
said that one. If I'm in the locker room, I'm going, hey, Coach. Hey, sorry, Coach. You have mentioned the staying on your man and playing defense. Do you have any other tips for us?
Well, you don't just shoot if you miss the 3-pointer, don't make the threes if you're not going to make them. Go to the basket and make the layups.
Oh, I like it.
You know what? Don't rely on the three.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't force it. If it's not falling, take it inside. That's great advice, Nick.
Go to the layup. Make the layups.
Make the layups.
You know?
I mean, you're closer to the basket. Just lay it up and in. Exactly.
And I do want to say that today I did get a picture of Matt Barnes today.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the Jim Bush Tacos, and I got a picture with him.
How do you run into so many players and former players out at places? Do you stalk people?
No, because I'm famous.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
God.
All right, Nick. All right. Are you going to the game tomorrow?
I will be at the game, and guess what? It is the Deuce and Mo podcast. Deuce and Mo is Deuce Mason.
Yeah, that's me.
Taking over.
Yes.
ABC Sports tomorrow. Why not wear a tie? Why not look nice?
Why not? Why not like the beam?
Why not like the beam? Why not have Deuce do ABC Sports with Morgan tomorrow?
Yeah.
Why not?
All right. Well, are you sweating too? Like it's. How are you sweating? Are you okay?
Yeah, I am. I'm okay. Hey, but what happened to the NBC Sports table tonight? Why was it different?
We just answered that. All right. We got to go sleep.
Sleep
Sleep
beams.
beams.
Sleep beams.
All right.
Oh my God.
I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did. I didn't look at the chat during it.
I'll tell you what, too. People that see Nick when they're like saying hi to me, they're like, "Oh my God, it's Coach Nick!" They get excited to see the famous Coach Nick. So
We're gonna have more of the podcast in just a second. We gotta look ahead to the quick turnaround against Dallas in just a second, and we should probably give De'Aaron Fox still a love. Although we did talk about it on our daily show earlier today. We got to talk about it here. Tonight's Night Chat, presented, as always, by our friends over at Guaranteed Rate and rate.com/Sean Stanfield. Hey, if you're looking to buy a house right now, or you're like, hey, can I afford a house? What do I have to do to get a house? Hit up Sean. He has all the answers you need. Or maybe you're prepared and you're like, I'm ready to do this. Let's go. Sean and his team over at Guaranteed Rate will walk you through the process. You get loan options. What? Neighborhood, market, and current rate research with just a few clicks.
What?
Or from your phone or tablet without running your credit or asking for your personal information. All you need to do is hit up Sean, who is a big Kings fan, by the way, at 916-276-7563. He's texted me a couple times last week. I haven't responded. I've been busy. 916-276-7563. He's called me. Hey, how you doing, Deuce? What's going on?
oh my God.
I gave him crickets. But guess what? Hey, Sean, hope you're doing well. 916-276-7563. He is super responsive. He'll get back to you right away. You can hit him up at rate.com/Sean Stanfield. Morgan, that's equal housing lender. Subject to credit approval. NMLS ID number 349707. Company NMLS ID number 2611. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Thanks so much to our friends over at
Guaranteed.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Thanks, Sean.
Morgan.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox is an all-star for the first time in his career. He's an injury replacement. He joins Anthony Edwards, who is also named to the team in the Western Conference, and in the East, Pascal Siakam named as an injury replacement. De'Aaron Fox has had an amazing year. Like, I'm so happy he's getting rewarded. It's weird because all the people who like crush Fox in the chat for years,
They're not here anymore.
they have not shown up.
No.
I thought maybe they would like show up. I thought Felix would show up in the comments and be like, congratulations, Fox. I know I've been hardy, but you got better this year. I thought Mio would be here. Hey, Deuce, man. Not only the Kings winning, but De'Aaron Fox made an all-star. You know what? I got to tip my cap because I've been critical of him in the past. you're going to dump on a guy when he's not playing well, you better give him his flowers when he's bringing it.
Facts. That's, absolute facts. But who cares about everyone that was always a De'Aaron Fox hater? And there were obviously so many years there where I understood all of the criticism that he was getting. Now, the people that didn't want to believe in what he could be as a player in the NBA and didn't want to see what he was great at, that's on you. And this year, truly, the leap that he has taken to polish up his game, to be the leader vocally and be a leader through the way that he plays on the floor has just been incredible.
Been more efficient than ever. I think he's improved in all aspects of the game. And it shows you, like, situation matters. Think about the Kings trading Halliburton for Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
All three, Sabonis, Halliburton, and Fox, are all-stars. That's pretty remarkable to think about, that all three guys are all-stars this year. And I think you could make the case, if Sabonis was in Indiana still, if Fox and Halliburton were still in Sacramento, I don't know that any of those guys are all-stars. Fit, situation, culture, what's around you, opportunity, all those things factor into it. I'm not excusing Fox as if like he, has been perfect throughout his time in Sacramento. Dude, last year, especially through that stretch where we're like, dude, does he even, like, is everything okay? What's going on with him? But there's no denying that he has become a better basketball player. He's matured. And I'm happy for the guy. I'm really happy that in his 6th year in the NBA, he's an all-star. Also, I think it's pretty cool that in Sacramento, the Kings have 2 all-stars for the first time since
cool.
Brad Miller and Peja. They haven't had many all-stars throughout Sacramento's history in 38 years.
And you look at that time when the last 2 was Brad and Peja, right under there, it's like the year before it was Peja and C-Web or somebody. And then the year before it was 2 other guys from that squad.
Yeah,
and
Weber and Vlade.
And my point to that being is that you were seeing that chunk of time when they were playing great basketball and it was being rewarded with all-stars. And you can only hope that this is the start of something sustainable for the future of the Sacramento Kings organization.
And you know what? You ask for the Fox haters, they start pouring in more.
Nuh-uh. What we got?
Baby cakes. Fox needs to improve his threes. Hey, I didn't say he was perfect. I didn't say he was the best basketball player in history. Yeah, he's got to be better from 3.
Can I be honest too? He missed 2 free throws tonight. He has to be a better free throw shooter.
Shooting a career high in free throw percentage this year, also 12 of 14. Minnie Lamb says, well, he snuck in like teenagers at an R-rated movie.
Oh, he's an NBA all-star.
Yeah, because at the end of his career, you're going to be like, yeah, he was an all-star, but actually it was just an injury replacement. Doesn't count. No, it counts. He's playing in the game. He gets a uniform. His uniform doesn't say all-star replacement. It says all-star on it,
Wait,
and
how
he'll
funny.
be playing in the game.
What if they did that for the all-star replacements or the injury reserve? That would be awful.
Ragnarok now says, he didn't block Kyrie hard enough. You got to be better. Yeah.
Great point. Great point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, he's obviously taking a serious step, and it is pretty cool to see that, like, Halliburton's one, Sabonis, and Fox.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
And
all in the
happy
same
for
year.
all great guys too. It's like, it's always stings a little bit more when it's someone like Tyrese Halliburton who, you had to sacrifice good to get good. I do love that he has been excelling and has been really doing something in this league.
All right, let's look ahead to the Kings' next game. It's coming up fast. In fact, this podcast will be dated for a lot of people once they listen to it later.
Yeah.
But the Kings play Saturday night in a back-to-back at Golden One Center, hosting the same Dallas Mavericks. And we anticipate that Luka Doncic will be back from the heel injury. He did some 5-on-5 workouts today, I believe, with the Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
I think they felt like giving him an extra day's rest could be beneficial for him. Not going to play him on a back-to-back, so why don't you give him the one extra day on the front end as opposed to bringing him back and sitting him out Saturday night. So seems like he might be back Saturday night. First chance we get to see Kyrie and Luka tomorrow. I feel like the pace is going to be a little different. You know, obviously Dallas coming into tonight, it was near the bottom in pace and in fast break points. With Luka there, the pace should slow down, but that also means Luka can get to the free throw line. The guy gets fouled a lot. He gets to the line. Kyrie gets to the line a lot. It's going to be a big-time challenge for the Kings.
He's going to draw a lot of defense into the paint, kick out, find the open man. You saw what happened when that open man was found, especially in that first quarter tonight. They were knocking down those shots. And I think for the Kings, you just got to do a much better job with that perimeter pressure being locked in from the start. So then he's not penetrating deep into the paint. Luka's going to do a good job getting to where he needs to get, drawing fouls, getting people in foul trouble. But at the same time, what are you going to do knowing that he does all of this?
I think the other thing for tomorrow night is the Kings on their end have to push the pace. You know, Luka, for as great as he is, and I feel like anytime we start like nitpicking a great player, I don't want to sound like we're hating at all.
Yeah.
Luka has a chance to be one of the best players we've ever seen.
No doubt.
He's 23 years old, and he's not even like where he can be. Like I don't think he has realized what he's got to do with his body
Physically,
yet.
yep.
To be honest, when I was 23, I didn't know what the hell I was doing with my
Sodas
body.
and Taco Bell,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So he hasn't gotten there yet. And I think one example I heard talking to someone today I thought was interesting is like with some of these great players in the league, when they're at the top of everything, like Luka, won the EuroLeague, like EuroLeague MVP, you know, Rookie of the Year, All-Star, NBA, like every year there's been advancement.
Yeah.
Last year got to the conference finals. It's always been advancing. So let's just say Dallas gets knocked down the first or second round. That's the first year where it's like, oh, wow, I did not advance in something in my career, right? Yeah, I made all NBA. I'm in the MVP conversation, but man, I didn't win the MVP or I didn't get to the NBA finals. And sometimes for the great ones, that's when it clicks with them. Like,
Yes.
oh, no. I want that. How do I get that? What do I have to do to achieve that? Long way of going. I think the Kings pushing the pace can be beneficial tomorrow because Luka's not a guy that likes to get up and down the floor. I mean, he wants to slow you down. He wants to get in the ISO game. Now, he's such a talented player, can draw fouls. We know he can get hot from three. I think the Kyrie-Luka backcourt is going to be a dynamic backcourt offensively.
Yeah.
But defensively, I don't think they're going to be very
Break
good
them
at
down,
all.
baby. Break them down. No, you're right about that. And not to act like they're just bums defensively. I think as a team, we know what their defense is not capable of, but not to say that they can't have some good locked in times together. Are they going to vibe and feed off each other's energy because it's the first game that they're playing with each other? Or is it just going to be a weird mess? Hoping for a weird mess.
I also think it's going to be fun because it's, you know, when you have these back-to-back games against the same opponent, we've talked about this before this year when it's happened. It's like, it's more like a playoff feel, right?
Yeah.
I know you're not going to play back-to-backs in the playoffs, but it's the same opponent, consecutive games. And this is late in the year. I thought Mike Brown had a really interesting comment at practice the other day when he was talking about what this means now post-trade deadline. Like,
Yeah.
team's pretty locked in, right? And he says it's getting real now.
Oh, yeah, because it's real now. And I told our group this, it's easy, in my opinion, this is my opinion, it's easy to kind of get to where we are. If you play hard or compete, if you're organized, you know, and knock on wood, if you can stay a little healthy, you can have a chance during the regular season to kind of sit in a playoff position. But going into the All-Star break and then coming out of it, let's see who can step up and get it done.
Yeah, it's real now. Like, this is teams are battling for playoff positioning, right?
Yeah.
The Kings have benefited from having guys remain relatively healthy. You hope Malik Monk's okay.
Yeah.
Sabonis has fought through injury. Man, Sabonis got hit in the thigh, knee in the thigh early in this game.
The
and
worst.
It looked like, oh, he was in a lot of pain. So they've had the benefit too of taking on a lot of shorthanded teams throughout the year. I mean, how many times have we been like, hey, they're playing the Nuggets tonight, they're missing Jamal Murray and Gordon, or they're playing the Sixers, Harden and Embiid aren't playing. Dallas tonight, no Luka.
How many times have
Clippers.
they played teams on their second night of a back-to-back for the other team and then shit the bed? So tomorrow, both teams are playing on a second night of the back-to-back. And I asked Matt Barnes about that, and he said it should cancel each other out.
Well, and the adjustments, I just want to see better defense. I want to see pick up the pace, and hopefully you can get your bench going because the bench has to. And if I'm Mike Brown tomorrow, and if TD's having defensive breakdowns or if there's something I'm not liking, Keon Ellis, you're in.
Yep.
Kessler Edwards, if you need some wing help. He was about to put Kessler Edwards into the game at one point, and then I think it was, I forget when it was, in the game, to be honest, but I changed his mind.
Damn.
So, but don't be hesitant to mix some things up.
Be ready.
You gotta get your team in a position to win these games and get in the top 6. Jay says the Ellis experience was not good tonight, or experiment. Yeah, I hear you. But it was also a really chaotic situation he was walking into, and I want to see more. I've seen enough good that I would give him another chance at some point.
Yeah, it's like when you put him in those final minutes of a game, it's, what are you really going up against talent-wise? So then when you get put into these chaotic moments and when adversity is hitting, what can you bring? Wasn't the best, but not to say that he, with another opportunity, couldn't clean it up.
Well, we decided to do a shorter version tonight because the second night of a back-to-back. We'll be back live again tomorrow night.
Hell yeah, we will.
Tomorrow night, following Kings-Mavs. We'll extend it out a little bit. Probably chill.
Oh, yeah.
Bit.
It's a Saturday
night.
I get to sleep in tomorrow.
We're going to have a fun night chat. Win or lose. Win or lose. If they lose, we'll have a vent sesh. If they win, we'll be like, oh, this feels kind of good. We'll give some love to, who is that? Marino Mac, who became a member.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys so much for the support. Check out our interview we did with Domantas Sabonis. That's at youtube.com/SacktownSports1140. Link in the bio. We love you guys, but we gots to go.
You all have a wonderful rest of your night. Thanks for joining us. See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.